So the Green Lantern scene that played before this is obviously fan-made, courtesy of the graphic artist, the glorious pictures. Now the full clip is 3 minutes. I didn't want to put the full clip in, but I just want to put it in for context. That's pretty much how the scene will go when Zack Snyder reveals it. So make sure to check out the full post on my Instagram story at Warstew, and it will take you over to the IG video bit, or check out the Glorious Pictures Instagram page because this scene looks incredible. So also we're going to talk about Zack Snyder revealing concept art for this very scene, and he's also dropped some information with it. But also, you think Zack Snyder is dropping information like this for no reason? No. This scene will be coming out in full context at some point, which is interesting why they wouldn't allow him to actually put this scene in the movie. He nearly walked away from the movie, but they compromised and let him have Martian Manhunter instead. But this isn't the only post that Zack Snyder's recently put out. He's been teasing the SnyderVerse, restoring the SnyderVerse for multiple weeks, but a lot of people are too cynical to even see what he's doing. Cheeky little smiles before he answers questions, the hesitation, the way he's looking with his eyes, the subliminal messages that Zachary Snyder is giving off is ridiculous that people can't even see it. So yo, what is good YouTube? I've washed you here. If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the pop culture based content. If you want to see the face behind the voice, check us out on Instagram at Warstew, or on Twitter WarstewG, aka The Maverick, and also twitch.tv/Warstew. So a week ago or so, Zack Snyder posted an image from Man of Steel, the future of an apocalyptic world. The planet bows to Darkseid. Restore the SnyderVerse. Roots of the nightmare. So there was a glimpse scene when Henry had the black suit on in Man of Steel, and Zack teased that on Vero. But wait, Zack teased a lot of stuff on Vero before the Justice League Snyder Cut was revealed to be real and happening, just like Warstew said on HBO Max. So keep listening, guys, because the truth is the SnyderVerse will be restored, but it's going to take a lot of time. It really is going to take some time. Now, there's some websites, we're going to go over a fluff website with a fluff article with a fluff super duper scooper who really doesn't have a good track record, but we'll go over it anyway and we'll debunk it and actually tell you exactly what is going on. So with the concept art, Zack posted this: we're in a free fall into the future. We don't know where we're going. Things are changing so fast, and always when you're going through a long tunnel, anxiety comes along, and all you have to do to transform your hell into a paradise is to turn your fall into voluntary action. It's a very interesting shift of perspective, and that's all it is, a joyful participation in the source, and everything changes. Joseph Campbell, a quote, from paradise, from hell to paradise. Very interesting. So it's a bit obvious that the John Stewart scene of John Stewart meeting Bruce Wayne will be released very soon, and we get to see Wayne T. Carr, very talented guy. We'll finally get to see his scene. Why are we going to get to see it? Because Zack does not post things unless it's actually going anywhere. Everything Zack Snyder's posted on his Vero has come to fruition. So at some point, the real scene will be revealed. But as I said at the start of the video, the Glorious Pictures has literally made the scene. Will be pretty close. It's fan-made to what the real scene is. Hopefully, I can include it as video. I hopefully will put it in if YouTube allows me to post it, unless it gets copyright claims or something. But hopefully we can put it in there. So also, I don't really like to go over this website or this person because it's kind of a super duper scooper who has no track record, literally nothing confirmed. I think in the past he's probably had one big scoop confirmed, which realistically is just guessing. I'd prefer this person just say that he hears things. Like, I'm not a super duper duper Twitter scooper, but I hear things. I've never said I'm a super duper scooper, but this website really tries to make out they have scoops when realistically they don't know anything. So SnyderVerse discussed to be restored after Warner Media Discovery merger. Literally everyone in the world was thinking that when David Slasco said that he wants to repair broken relationships with talent. It's a fluff piece, but let's go over it anyway. The SnyderVerse could be restored by mid-2022, shortly after the Warner Media Discovery merger is finalized. I think it's going to take a lot more than 12 months to finalize a huge merger. Does this person know nothing about business? I mean, in theory, it could be closed within a year, but I think it's pushing more towards 2023. On May the 17th, 17th, I reported that the deal, everyone reported, the big publications reported it, so you didn't really report it. You re-reported someone else's story, and you should have quoted them, so it's not really your story. Moreover, the created new company, Warner Bros. Discovery, the things dreams are made of. The agreement combines Warner Media and Discovery collection of streaming and cable channels. In addition, David, the Discovery CEO, takes over the organization. Warner Media CEO Jason Kilar is expected to remain in position until the company completes their merger next year. Well, it's not actually being said the merger. This is very fabricated. This is. No one said it's going to be finalized by next year because every country has to agree the merger, just like they did with the Fox deal, although it's not as big as the Fox Disney merger, but it's still pretty big. Insiders revealed that Warner Bros. Chairman and CEO Ann Chernoff, DC President Walter Hamada, and Warner Bros. Picture Group Toby Emmerich are not expected to remain. But that's kind of misleading. Very freaking misleading. Very misleading. I can't see Walter Hamada going anywhere until at least all these movies have come out in the current slate that he's EP on. Ann Chernoff is rumored to be leaving of her own fruition. Toby Emmerich's contract will be up, so he will be going on that basis. Damn, this article's a bit misleading. AT&T would never have spun off Warner Media to Discovery Inc. if they were pleased with their performances. Okay, anyone with any form of education could have made that guess. It doesn't make sense for them to remain status quo, no, but some Discovery executives will be coming in and taking over certain positions once they've learned what they need to. So far, this is complete fluff piece. The names are familiar to many Zack Snyder fans who don't even follow corporate actions. They represent their decisions to no longer pursue the SnyderVerse. This merger is not just about the SnyderVerse. I wish people would get this out of their head. This merger, Discovery isn't merging with AT&T just to restore the SnyderVerse. This is about the future of Warner Brothers movies. They make a lot of movies. They've got the rights to Harry Potter and lots of other stuff. This is bigger than the SnyderVerse. An insider revealed that Laszlo has seen the actual numbers of the Snyder Cut on HBO Max. That is the freaking ridiculous claim. Of course she's seen it. I'm sure all the executives at Warner Bros. HBO Max have seen it. It's just not public knowledge. But the fact that the Zack Snyder Justice League movie has been #1 for 5 weeks in UK tells you a lot. He cannot make the decision to resurrect it until the deal is done. Nevertheless, multiple sources indicate this is where he's headed from private discussions. Okay, what do I know? There's been talks ongoing ever since the Snyder Cut came out. Literally weeks after the Snyder Cut came out, there were negotiations going on. Now, Zack Snyder can publicly say in interviews that he's not heard anything from him. I know differently that he has. Another insider leaked that Zaslow is focused on producing more content the audience seek, especially Warner Media's most popular IPs. That wasn't leaked at all. That was common public knowledge that he put out there, that they're going to spend over $20 billion on content, which is more than Disney and Netflix, to compete with the big boys. Damn, this is a big ass fluff piece. This may seem like common sense after all. It's the mission of every successful business, but personal grudges of Warner execs against Snyder overruled logic. This is such a fluff piece. To be fair, 2016 Batman vs Superman crushed the box office expectations. Not really. I mean, it did perform well, but it should have easily been $1 billion franchise. By 2017, Justice League, Warner Bros. Replaced Snyder with Joss Whedon. They trashed his vision. Apparently, Zaslow isn't judging Snyder by his past. Why would they do that? Like, literally every movie Zack Snyder's produced has done well. He is focused on how well Zack Snyder's Justice League movie performed. This is such an opinion piece, but it's worded like it's coming from insiders. It's not. It's really not. The 4-hour epic is unfiltered Snyder. Well, it's kind of filtered Snyder because Snyder's vision had John Stewart Green Lantern right at the end, so it is a bit filtered. Its solid performance in HBO Max left Zackloff thinking how they could take advantage of it. They already know how they're going to take advantage of it. He's publicly said that once the merge is done, he will be repairing relationships with Wall Stew, Christopher Nolan, and talent. As of now, no discussions have begun with Snyder that I'm aware of. All right, that you're aware of. Not that that means anything. There has been discussions with Snyder already. We know this. Why do you think Snyder will be kind of trashing on Warner Bros. Just before the merger? He knew it's coming. That likely won't happen until after the merger. A source added that Zaslow is focused on streaming. Of course, he's focused on streaming. What I find very interesting about this is there's no discussions with Snyder, right? Yet the same website will say Ben Affleck to do an Arkham Knight series and then come out a few days later, oh, it's not actually an Arkham Knight series, it's just going to take inspiration. Literally, most modern day Batman series or movies have taken inspiration from it, but Zack Snyder's attached to that as well. I have empathized in the past that the SnyderVerse future will likely be on HBO Max, but the subject is to evolve as well. Well, no one knows what it will be on. Realistically, it will be a theatrical release, then they could take it over to HBO Max, but it could do either and all. Nobody knows. This is where it gets interesting. The introduction of Deadpool, the X-Men, Fantastic Four will enable the MCU to continue their dominance. Why is an article about like a DC and a Warner Media talking about Marvel? In contrast, insiders stress the DC film bench as envisioned by Hamada is weak in comparison without Snyder. Personally, this is really condescending. Outside of Black Adam, Aquaman 2, and hopefully Batman, there is tremendous uncertainty. Based on what? With Wonder Woman 3 recapturing the heights of the first, you can't, that's a bit unfair because Wonder Woman 2 came out in a pandemic world. Most of the theaters were closed. Really unfair. Is Michael Keaton's Dark Knight enough to propel The Flash? The Flash movie is actually going to be really great. Zaslow has no comic book knowledge. That doesn't really mean anything. A source close to Zaslow said, no, it didn't. This is made up. Zaslow wants to expand DC's most familiar properties, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, the Justice League, and by that, I mean the Snyder Vision. Like, he said this again. Realistically, this is a fluff piece. Zaslow has publicly said he wants to use the likes of Batman, the likes of Superman, but he has not publicly said Justice League. And the fact that you keep pulling on the SnyderVerse and the Snyder Vision, what I find funny about this particular website is go back 3 to 4 years. Were they talking about the Justice League Snyder Cut? No. This is what makes me laugh about all these little websites that talk about this stuff, is you weren't day oneers. You jumping on the hype train because it can get you traffic, pretty much. On the surface, this sounds like wishful thinking, but I've stayed on this narrative for months now. Months, but not years. Months, literally. Even when Cernoff surprisingly nailed the Snyderverse coffin shut, no, she didn't. She wasn't supposed to do that. When I famously debunked Spidergate in August 2019, that sounded like wishful thinking. Okay, bring up the one thing you got right. The lesson here is follow the money. The path leads to the Snyderverse. Okay, so what do I know? Okay, Zack Snyder said in a recent interview that he would return to restore the Snyderverse instantly, but that's not actually the case because that's not how business and transactions work. Zack would require Toby Emmerich to be gone. I'm pretty sure, based on privy knowledge I have, that Zack Snyder would not jump straight back unless Toby Emmerich was gone and also that he had full control over what he was doing. So it's not the case that David comes in from Discovery and is like, yeah, let's restore everything. Zack's a cool guy and Zack is one of the probably the nicest guy in Hollywood, but at the same time, he would not jump instantly. He would have certain demands because remember, I'm pretty sure this is public knowledge, Zack Snyder did not get paid to do the Zack Snyder Justice League. He did it because he loved doing it. Now, I'm one of the realest channels that has been covering all this Snyderverse stuff since before the Snyderverse existed, since before Justice League comes out, and you get these little clickbaity websites jumping on the Snyderverse stuff. It's all right saying I've been on this train for months. Years. Where was this website years ago? My point exactly. Wasn't even around years ago, was it? Where was this back in 2016 talking about Snyderverse? Nowhere. This is why you got to be careful of who you follow, because I've always had the same narrative. If I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. But I wasn't wrong, was I? This same website, Zack Snyder Justice League HBO Max screening late 2021, still hasn't happened, although Zack did say he is planning to get some stuff. So yeah, guys, I'm not going to even say the website I'm referring to, but you guys know who I'm referring to and the website I'm referring to. It's just, it's a shame that like a website's jumping on this Snyderverse stuff because it's popular rather than, you know, actually being a fan and jumping on it back in 2017 before the Joss Whedon cut got actually released. Like your boy War Stew's been covering it since day one. We're day one. So the Snyderverse will be restored, but it's not a simple case of Discovery just coming in and be like, yeah, we're restoring everything. Zack would have to get all his terms and conditions met with his manager, etc., for him to do it. And of course he will do it, but he won't do it unless Toby Emmerich has gone. I'm pretty sure about that. I'm probably the same with Walter Hamada, but I'm not really sure. It depends what the big boss says. So yes, as far as I know, there are discussions going on behind the scenes and the stuff with Batfleck, the meetings did happen. I've not heard anything back about how these meetings went. But everything I've said, guys, I've told you literally what I hear because I can do that because I'm not under an NDA. I'm not a super duper scooper. I just get told stuff, and whenever someone tells me something, they're like, yeah, you can say it on the channel if you want or on your socials, whatever. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Wall Stew if you want to see the face behind the voice. Make sure to check out the glorious pictures if it doesn't let me use it in the video, but it's a full 3-minute thing. So freaking cool. And also check us out on twitch.tv/War Stew, and also obviously Twitter, War Stew G, aka the Maverick, and I will catch you in another video, guys, very soon. Catch you later.